Hi and welcome to GRVO TV, G's Reviews, Views and Opinions. Just want to do a quick update on my, just get that out of the way, sorry, my Fuji X10. Now, I did a video recently and I had a issue with the autofocus selector switch. And I had a bit of a rant about this, and rightly so, because it was so loose that every time I switched the camera on, which is by turning the actual barrel of the lens, my thumb is right where the selector switch is, and I knocked the selector switch, and the amount of times I went to shoot and it was actually it wouldn't focus, or the focusing didn't seem right, it's because I'd knocked the selector switch, which was, in my opinion, very loose. Now, I went to Focus on Imaging, spoke to the guys on the Fuji there. They had all the Fuji lineup, the X10, the X20, the X100, X100S, the EXXE Pro 1 and all those. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, I'm thinking now of the XE, the XE1, XE Pro, is it? Fantastic looking camera, beautiful stuff. Anyway, yeah, so they had a look at it for me, and they confirmed and said, yeah, it's not right. Now, I bought this camera from Camera World in Chelmsford, my local store, and this is one of the reasons why I'm really pro using your local stores. There's not many of them left, let's be honest. We all know like what's happened to Jessops, so if you can help out your local store by really supporting them, then I would. The last few cameras I've bought have been the same price online as in store, so there's no benefit there, but the benefit you do get is I went in, I said, look, this is the problem with the camera. He had a look at it, said, yeah, got another one out, we compared it, yeah, this one's much stiffer, it locks in nicely, there's obviously a problem with yours. No problem, sir. How long have you had it? Have you got your receipt? Yeah, I've had it for a couple of weeks, here's the receipt. Yeah, we'll swap it over for you there and then. Just swapped it over, no sending stuff off, no getting stuff repaired, just straight away, here's a new camera, is that okay for you? Yeah, test it all out, absolutely fine, no problems. Great, so there you go. I got me my new X10, and the focusing selector switch is nice, gives a nice clunk, you hear a little beep as well, and I've never, since I've changed it, I haven't knocked it, so I'm loving it. Just one more thing, I've just bought this little lens hood, which is in two parts. So you screw one part onto the lens barrel, you then have an internal 52mm thread which you can put in. I've currently got a skylight filter on there, not that we really need that on a day like today, but I've got my skylight filter on there, and then you screw the hood bit on the front, and that's a really nice little addition to the camera. The other benefit is that it then gives you a 52mm thread, which I've just got there, a plain 52mm lens hood, which I've smashed to bits. 52mm lens hood, which then just clips in the front there. So I know it doesn't look quite as nice as the push-on aluminium lens cap, but let's face it, at some point I was going to lose that, so that's in the box, and that's where it's going to stay, and I just think this is a better system anyway. So as to the X10, yeah, I'm loving it. I really enjoy using it. It's a pleasure to get out and play around with. I take it with me absolutely everywhere. I've basically, what I've done is I've got my just satchel bag that I use. I found an insert from an old camera bag which I've put inside it, and this lives in there all the time, and I have that with me wherever I go, unless I'm going shooting with my digital SLR. But I take it to work, everywhere I go, I take this with me now, and it's a lovely little camera. Yeah, it's a bit quirky and it's not for everybody. It wouldn't be, like my other half is a point in question, it would not be for her. I've got her, she's got the Panasonic Lumix TZ30, and for her that's perfect. This, absolutely not. If you're just wanting a real basic point and shoot that does everything for you and has got lots of funky modes on it, then this really isn't the camera for you, because it is quirky and there are things that you think, oh, well, that's a bit weird, but I quite like all that. But it really isn't for anybody, just for anybody. Some people like the looks, some people say, would you get it from a boot fair? So it is what it is at the end of the day. It's retro looking. Personally, I really like it. I like the optical viewfinder. I like the fact that you get the parallax errors, and sometimes when you take a photo, if you're taking a photo of something fairly close, you can completely miss it. So it's an enjoyable thing to use, and it just takes your photography to a different level. If you're just using a point and shoot, it's really good fun, and I'm really enjoying it. The images are a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit noisy, and I know they bang on about all this noise reduction it's got and the processor in it and all this, but bottom line, in everyday use, compared to especially my D7000 for instance, the images are a little bit on the noisy side, so you do have to be a bit careful with your ISO settings and that. But I'm not one that's ever worried about noise in my photos anyway. There's some great little features on there. It's got the horizon thing on it. It's got some wicked burst modes. It's got some. The video is reasonable on it. It's not particularly featured. It's pretty much auto video, but it works fine. I love this little dial on the back. The system that it uses. So at the moment, I'm in Aperture Priority, and to change the aperture, I can use this dial here, or this dial here. And this dial has got a press as well, so if I go to manual mode, I can change the aperture with that. I can press it and then change the shutter, press it back to the aperture, or I can change the aperture and the shutter with that one. So you've got a 2-dial system, but I just tend to use that one with the press and the turn. It works absolutely brilliantly. So it's a lovely thing to use. The price at the moment, because the X10 is sort of coming out, it's sort of due out. I think it's imminent, or it's out already. I've had a play with one, and again, that's a lovely camera, but it has caused the price on this to drop quite dramatically. I think you can pick this up now for around the sort of 250 quid mark. I think that's where it is now, or maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. You have to look around, but yeah, it's a great value little camera in my opinion. So there you go. And my quick update on the Fuji X10, my really only gripe with it has now been sorted, so I'm absolutely loving it. Anyway, this has been GRVO TV, G's Reviews and Opinions. See you soon. Bye.